perched on the top of a hill is a resting place, chronicling a young nation in search of itself. Chartered by Congress in 1849, Oak Hill Cemetery has become a common ground for composers, writers, statesmen, American heroes, and ordinary people with extraordinary stories to tell. Embracing the future as well as the past, it is a national treasure belonging to all of us. Echoes of the Civil War permeate the hollows of Oak Hill. An extraordinary number of those involved in the war, including Union and Confederate officers, soldiers, sailors, and spies, are at peace here. Edward Stanton, Lincoln's Secretary of War, was buried at Oak Hill not long after that fateful moment when he stood beside the bed in which Lincoln died, whispering the prophetic phrase, "Now he belongs to the ages." Also resting at Oak Hill are several lawyers who defended some of the accused conspirators and many others who participated in the aftermath of the assassination. Yet one of the most poignant Civil War moments includes President Lincoln and his son Willie. On a dreary February day in 1862, 11-year-old William Wallace Lincoln, third son of Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln, drew his final breath, a victim of typhoid fever. The grief-stricken president, suffering the spirit being sucked from his soul, openly expressed his pain. "My boy is gone. He's actually gone. It's hard to have him die." Following the funeral at the White House, a silent procession traveled the storm-soaked streets of Washington to Oak Hill Cemetery. The coffin was placed in the small Renwick Chapel for a simple service of scripture and prayer. William Thomas Carroll, clerk of the Supreme Court, had graciously offered space in his family's vault at Oak Hill to keep Willie until the Lincolns could return home at the end of the president's second term. Once Willie's coffin had been settled in place and all but Lincoln had left, the president sat at his son's side for a very long time, not wanting to leave him there. Lincoln continued to visit Oak Hill often and alone, sometimes removing the lid of the coffin to hold Willie and to keep him from being in the dark. Willie's death continued to consume him. Layers of scar tissue would never heal. As fate would have it, another child who had died of measles just shy of his second birthday had also been temporarily placed at Oak Hill. It was Samuel Emory Davis, the first son of Jefferson Davis, the President of the Confederacy. Willie now lay just 50 feet away from Samuel, both graves overlooking Rock Creek and the Underground Railroad. Tragedy takes no sides. 5 days after the surrender at Appomattox, actor John Wilkes Booth, seeking revenge, shot Abraham Lincoln at Ford's Theater. The president died the next day. Willie's body was taken from Oak Hill, and he joined his fallen father on the train trip back to Illinois. The hearse car held 2 coffins, one large and one small, both draped in American flags. Jefferson Davis died on December 6, 1889, and found his final resting place at Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. Samuel Emory Davis was moved from Oak Hill to Hollywood Cemetery in 1893. Fathers and sons were together again. John Howard Payne, the renowned diplomat and composer, is interred at Oak Hill, prominently placed next to the Renwick Chapel. His ballad Home, Sweet Home had swept the nation by storm during the Civil War and was a favorite of President Lincoln. Winslow Homer's masterwork, Home, Sweet Home, which now hangs at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., was painted during the height of the Civil War. The power of this painting underscores the emotional ties between soldiers at war. Two Union soldiers listened to their regimental band playing Home, Sweet Home as a Confederate encampment in the far distance listens on. Homesickness and a sense of longing permeate the air. As one Union general described the scene, late in the afternoon our bands would play the most spirited national anthems, such as Columbia, America, E Pluribus Unum, and the Star-Spangled Banner, which would be answered by the Confederate bands playing the Bonnie Blue Flag, Southern Rights, and Dixie. These demonstrations often aroused the hostile sentiments between the two armies. Yet animosity disappeared when some band would strike up that melody which comes nearest to the hearts of all true men, Home, Sweet Home. And every band within hearing distance would join in that sacred anthem with unbroken accord and enthusiasm, bound together as opposing forces in a twilight truce, sharing in the strains of Home, Sweet Home.